For centuries, civilizations have tried to define the full spectrum of human morality, the 7 worst psychological traps you could fall into, and the 7 greatest strengths you could build to escape them. Every action you take, every thought you have, falls somewhere on this grand moral scale. These are the 7 deadly sins, not just minor transgressions, but deep-seated, self-destructive flaws that act like anchors, locking you in place and destroying your potential. And facing them are the 7 heavenly virtues, not just good deeds, but powerful internal defenses against total self-ruin. Today, in just 12 minutes, you're placing them side by side to understand the psychology behind why we constantly chase the darkness, and why achieving true virtue is ultimately the greatest test of human character. Get ready to face your greatest weaknesses and strengths. Let's begin the ultimate moral examination. 1. Pride versus humility. The trap of self-worship. Pride is the ultimate trap and the origin of all other sins. It is the corrosive, irrational belief in your own perfection and superiority. Pride is not self-respect. It is arrogance that blocks all input. If you are perfect, you cannot be corrected, you cannot learn, and you cannot admit fault, ensuring stagnation and isolation. It is the ego inflating itself into a brittle fortress. Humility. True humility is the antidote and the foundation for all other virtues. It is the deep, honest awareness that your existence, your talents, and your every single achievement rely on others, on luck, and on constant effort. It's the ability to listen, admit failure, and accept that you can always learn more, making it the bedrock of continuous resilient growth and true connection. 2. Envy versus kindness. The trap of comparison. Envy, the green-eyed monster. Envy is the twin burden of longing for what someone else possesses, combined with the bitter, destructive wish that they didn't have it at all. It's a pointless, self-imposed prison because it forces you to spend all your emotional energy looking outward, measuring your life against an impossible, idealized standard, preventing you from ever finding satisfaction or appreciating your own accomplishments. Kindness, love, kindness, sometimes called love or charity in this context, defends against envy by actively forcing you to celebrate the good fortune and happiness of others. It focuses your energy outward to build bridges, cooperation, and genuine goodwill. It breaks the scarcity mindset of envy and replaces it with an abundance mindset of shared human connection. 3. Wrath versus patience, the trap of instant reaction. Wrath, uncontrolled fire. Wrath is uncontrolled, destructive anger, often fueled by a sense of injustice or betrayal. It's the immediate, overwhelming urge to punish, hurt, or destroy something that has annoyed you. And this short-circuits your higher logic and causes irreversible damage to relationships, reputation, and potentially legal standing, all based on a temporary spike of emotion. Patience. Patience is the powerful discipline of choosing your response over your immediate, volatile reaction. It's the strength to absorb an irritation, insult, or delay without immediately flying into a rage, giving your prefrontal cortex the crucial time needed to find a logical, measured, and peaceful solution instead of resorting to emotional warfare. It is restraint under fire. 4. Sloth versus diligence, the trap of potential wasted. Sloth, spiritual apathy. Sloth is much more than mere physical laziness. It is spiritual and intellectual indifference, the refusal to exert the effort required to achieve what is morally, intellectually, or physically necessary. It manifests as chronic procrastination, apathy, and avoidance, which stop you from fulfilling your potential or contributing anything meaningful to your world. It is the refusal to care. Diligence zest. Diligence is the persistent, focused effort required to complete a task, even when it's difficult, boring, or tedious. It fuels genuine, hard-earned achievement and ensures that you live up to your potential by mastering skills through consistent, methodical work. It is the drive that proves effort is a virtue itself because it maximizes your gifts. 5. Greed versus charity, the trap of insatiability. Greed, avarice. Greed is the excessive, insatiable hunger for possessions, money, status, or power far beyond any reasonable or practical need. It turns resources into an end goal rather than a necessary tool, leaving the individual perpetually feeling impoverished, regardless of how much they acquire, because the internal standard of enough is always rising. Greed promises happiness, but only delivers emptiness. Charity. Charity is the precise opposite. The generous sharing of resources, time, or self, with no expectation of return. It is an act that breaks the destructive cycle of attachment to material things. It proves that true value is created not through ruthless acquisition, but through contribution, giving, and genuine human connection with those who are less fortunate. 6. Gluttony versus temperance, the trap of excess. Gluttony. Gluttony is the uncontrolled overconsumption of anything food. Alcohol, entertainment, luxury, or information to the point of waste, illness, or intoxication. It's a fundamental lack of self-respect and self-control that treats the body and the mind as disposable, leading inexorably to physical decay, mental fogginess, and chronic low energy. Temperance, self-control. Temperance is the mastery of desire. It's the ability to enjoy pleasure in healthy, deliberate moderation, exercising strong discipline over all your appetites. It protects your long-term health, preserves your clarity of mind, and is essential for staying focused on your most important life goals, refusing to let instant gratification win. 7. Lust versus chastity, the trap of objectification. Lust. Lust is the powerful, overwhelming desire for physical gratification or possession divorced from respect, commitment, or emotional depth. It is a selfish act that reduces other people to mere objects for momentary pleasure. It inevitably leads to isolation and poor choices made purely for a self-centered, fleeting experience. Chastity, integrity. Chastity is not simply abstinence. It is the intentional channeling of that powerful energy into creative and productive avenues, maintaining moral purity and integrity in all relationships. It is the discipline that ensures passion is used as a tool to build commitment and mutual respect, rather than being a master that compels destructive, selfish behavior. Conclusion: these 14 forces, 7 self-destructive traps, and 7 protective shields make up the ultimate daily test of human character. Every decision, every internal battle, is a choice between the easy, immediate path of the sin and the challenging, rewarding path of the virtue. Now for the question. Which of the 7 deadly sins do you personally think is the hardest to defeat in the distractions of the modern world? Is it the quiet rot of sloth, or the deceptive arrogance of pride? Let us know in the comments. Keep watching and keep subscribing as we continue to break down the biggest concepts in history and psychology.